Oh my god.
This is such
These
a better
surprises.
This is amazing.
Had some fun.
How'd you do that? That's him. I love it. Now we gotta release Superman. I love it.
Can you tell I didn't know how to end that?
That was amazing.
That was great, Aaron. That was
New
all
intro.
We were surprised by that.
Yeah,
Like,
that was show up, sit down, hit record, and
we were like,
Aaron had
whoa.
had
So-
that queued up.
Now our video is getting taken down thanks to Warner Brothers.
Hey, you know,
Watch
you're
us,
gonna
like,
go down in style.
That's true.
right.
Superman's flying
It
in
was
here
worth
and
it.
taking our TV away.
watch it like watch.
Don't break copyright law.
Facebook's like watching it very
It's the
intently.
safest way to
It's
travel.
like, oh, they're gonna make it if it hits 30 seconds. Then we're taking it down, and then all of a sudden the duck. It's like, oh, those bastards.
It's like a Born Identity or something, like where they're trying to track somebody.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're gonna get him.
Yeah.
Oh, fugitive. Oh, well, okay, well. All right, we have fun here. See you tomorrow, Ralph.
Next time on the Spark of Madness.
On the
Next
Spark
time.
of Madness.
Let's just talk about the intro for an hour.
Yeah,
You know,
for a full hour.
pretty
So how did you do that, Aaron?
I made it. What,
Madness.
do you
With
want like
sparks of
specific
Yeah,
software?
madness.
let's
plugins?
make this a breakdown of
A
your
tutorial?
programming. Yeah, tutorial.
Of how to do the Superman text.
Yeah.
Because I want to know how to do it
No,
myself.
well, it's a
You even
very-
had the sound.
what?
You had the sound.
No, I just used the soundtrack from the movie, dude.
Did it have the to it?
Of course it did. I was very meticulous. I was hoping you would notice. I did this just for you.
Just for you. It's all for you.
I did it for you, Damien.
Pretty much. We're doing Dreamcatcher
Yeah,
today.
that's right.
Right.
Yeah, this is Spark of Madness podcast.
Thanks, Aaron. It was
with
good
Matt,
job.
Ben, and Aaron, and we're gonna do after It last week for Stephen King from Stephen King. We're gonna do another Stephen King movie, Dreamcatcher, right?
I took notes again.
Wow,
I
you
have,
You're bringing it today. You
my
got
notes.
new
are
intro.
In, my notes are in my little library.
Your
My
mind-
file-
mind
my-
warehouse-
my-
memory
my-
warehouse?
My memory warehouse.
Bravo.
I think sure.
Connections made.
I bet like Sherlock, the BBC series, totally ripped off Dreamcatcher, the idea of the Mind Palace.
Afraid so.
No, absolutely not. It's like the most. Let's visualize our mind as if it's like a storage facility.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
I
Stephen
like
King.
it.
Brilliant.
Let's confuse the audience at first.
Yeah. How would you?
And then tie it in later.
Let's. We're doing good, bad, and ugly, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
I'm
Before
gonna
we get to that,
interrupt you.
though.
I'm just going to play the graphic now and get it over
right,
with.
all right, go ahead.
Always forget.
Bad and ugly.
Good. It's over.
So,
The mediocre.
How, like-
should be the mediocre, bad, and the ugly.
yeah,
right?
I was gonna say this one should like hide the good part.
the
because
the okay, bad, and the ugly.
I hate to break it to you. I didn't make that.
I
failed
had a somebody posted, I forget who it was, that they were really excited about this because like they love Dreamcatcher and the idea of having the powers and that your mind would work that way and stuff.
Yeah, there's some cool ideas.
So the overall picture though is what? 4 middle-aged white guys
From
have
Derry, Maine.
from Derry. Oh, sure.
There's the connection.
The SKU.
Yeah, dude.
So-
Dude, check this out.
All right. What is this? What's this? What's this?
The
Stephen King
SKU.
movie?
I've got the book.
Oh, it's a real thing.
I read up on things.
That's
Wow.
Like
The
the great
SKC
majority of his
here.
stories link up in little ways here and there.
Interesting.
Well-
there was a really cool, good link, like explicit call out in this one that we can get to. But
Okay, yeah.
so 4 middle-aged guys, almost immediately revealed they they can mind meld with each other.
Yes.
And others to an extent.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they have like it's almost like each one has a specific power too. Although Jason Lee, I don't know if he has. So it's Jason Lee, Tom Jane, Damian Lewis, and Timothy Oliphant.
Yep.
Jonesy.
And they go to a cabin where all of a sudden there's an alien that
Elite
shows
alien.
up. And so they're trying to get rid of the alien. The alien's attacking them. But then on the side, Morgan Freeman
Mustache.
plays
Bert.
Brows.
Bert with those like crazy eyebrows.
Jeez, alien. I told you to get out of here.
And
I didn't make that connection.
he's
but
the
thank
James
you.
Cameron military presence trying to kill the aliens.
One-dimensional.
Yeah.
Every movie.
Yeah.
You know, could we say that character like? Well, when we're going to talk about the plot more, or should we wait on?
Well, so yeah, and the only other thing is, so it's a fight. The military's trying to kill these aliens that are infecting people. And the more small scale is that these 4 guys with superpowers are now encountering it, but they got their superpowers from when they were little kids,
From an autistic boy.
Like a mentally handicapped
Duddies?
kid named Duddits,
yeah.
who when they were kids.
But it's Douglas, right? He's
Yes, it's Douglas.
Oh, it's Douglas.
Douglas, but they call him Duddits because that's how you pronounce
I only
it.
remember Duddits, but Duddits was Donnie Wahlberg, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Like I didn't realize that.
I actually thought he did really good.
Yeah,
He did.
adult Duddits.
I thought he actually did a good. Like he's one of the few good actors on it.
Well,
you
they
kinda-
had like a star-studded cast, honestly.
Yeah, they
but
did.
It was
Tom
like,
Jane.
yeah, but yeah, let's just get started because we need to rush
Let's
through
go.
the good here.
Let's
'Cause,
go.
like,
This could be a 40-minute episode.
yeah, we maybe done it quick.
Jeez.
So the vagina teeth snake monster.
Makes me
That was
wanna be a
my
virgin.
good, and that's about it.
What?
I like
That was it?
I like the design. The design of the snake monsters. I didn't really like the gray,
gray.
Mr. Gray, the actual
Mr.
like
Guy?
typical alien guy. But I liked those were like menacing little snake things.
You
Yeah.
did catch the whole thing that he didn't really look like that, right?
Yeah, he didn't. It was all you caught that part,
In his
right?
mind? No, I didn't.
No,
catch
so,
that
so they have the aliens have telepathy power too.
yet. Okay.
And so people like automatically assume like they kind of look like what they think people think
It's a
aliens
little
should
bit
look
like Pennywise.
Yeah. So their real form is that form.
It's the snake.
Yeah, the snake are the ones where he turns and bites the guy. You know, he changes the form from the gray to
I'm starting to wonder if you've seen this movie.
The
Matt.
big head thing. Yeah.
the big
yeah,
head.
Yeah.
The big head thing's not his real form. It's just how.
No,
people
I
perceive
know.
him.
Yeah, I remember the actual look of him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's not actually how he looks like the gray. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was my good. So
Yeah.
have at it, guys.
All right.
Monsters.
Aaron.
Well, I don't consider Stephen King a great writer.
What? Oh, it doesn't drop.
Crazy, unpopular opinions, right?
No way.
But what he's good at is writing characters. I'm not going to speak to this screenplay, perhaps, but usually his characters are entertaining and they carry the story, even if it's weird. And
Yeah.
I hope you're not going with where I think you're going.
Go on.
This was like a less well acted It or Stand By Me or The
It had that.
Goonies.
Yeah, it had that element with when they were kids, especially.
It was
A little bit,
It was an
yeah.
idea that could have been.
Hey, the kids
done better.
acted better, didn't they?
Kids are better than the adults in this.
That's not
Yeah.
saying much, though.
Scooby Dooby Doo. Where are you?
That's
Dude, I'm gonna be laying some knowledge on you and connecting that to the overall plot later. So
Okay.
okay.
All
good.
right. Any other goods?
I liked the Stephen King universe references they
Yeah.
got in there.
Yeah, I had that circle too.
Well,
Yeah.
it kind of went past me. Other than Derry,
Yeah,
there was one that because there was one. I have a question about that.
Yes.
There was one that Morgan Freeman's character said, "Well, when I was in Montana, what happened in Montana?"
you don't need to know.
Yeah, but was it a Stephen King thing?
Not that I know of. It could be.
See, that's what I'm thinking. That'd be cool if it was.
I was really hoping because I know I'm guessing there were some like Pennywise hints in the background, but
There
like
wasn't.
I just
None
assumed
really in this movie.
I just assumed that the girl in the drain in the sewer that they were trying to
What's
find
with the kids in sewers, man?
that it was Pennywise.
Pennywise reference?
That I'm just gonna assume
Did
that
he
was
like
the
the
case to
sewers?
give it some points.
Well, I guess in the book, from when I watched some stuff about it. Of course, I don't read, but I guess in the book they mention to it. They don't mention it by maybe it says Pennywise lives in the background or something.
Yeah, it's very much just a little detail.
Okay.
In the book, but also they don't really talk about the goings on in Derry other than like it has that weird presence.
Okay.
Which it has, So they talk about how in Derry there's this weird. They mention it and they move past it. So I guess they mention it in the book.
I'm in the Dreamcatcher section of the book.
Oh.
Exhibit A.
By the way, Duds has Down syndrome.
That, as somebody with a cousin who I'm very close to with Down syndrome, maybe it was just the actor they got.
Definitely,
Like, it's
definitely not Down syndrome.
No,
definitely
I
not.
did not get that
Definitely
at
not. Definitely not.
That was
Jeopardy's on at 6.
poorly.
Definitely. Yeah.
Poorly done.
Yeah.
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 Really, I will give
Definitely.
it credit. Again, it was the cool. I liked what they did with the creepy red mold stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that was like gross,
You know
but
what?
in like a very good, effective way.
It reminded me a lot of the spraying the blood scene in War of the Worlds.
I haven't.
When-
I
when
don't
they're-
remember that.
Oh, you haven't seen War of the Worlds?
I've seen it, but I don't remember.
When they're spraying the human blood to grow their crops, and like the crops are kind of reddish.
Oh
kinda,
yeah, that's right.
It had
yeah.
a similar.
It
feel
did. It
to
kind of had that. Yeah.
Aliens love that red stuff.
But I liked the only scene that I, from start to end, really liked was when Tom Jane comes back to the house and it's just like carpeted.
Yeah.
In that, and then he finds the little nest and he burns it all
Yeah.
down. I thought that whole scene was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just because the effect of the eggs and the little tadpole slugs coming out of it, I thought that was pretty well done.
I thought, for me, I liked the scene with the spaceship. It was cool.
Yeah, there's the whole spaceship.
It was cool, but like there's a lot of plot holes in that scene. But like just visually, just in terms of visual, it was kind of cool to see how like their organic kind of. It wasn't a metal thing. It explained why the military could fight them because they didn't have like weapons.
Yeah.
They were more organic, and so they kind of grew into.
Nobody
the
saw this
ship.
big shit.
Yeah, I know. That's
what?
that's a horse of a different
Yeah,
color.
geez.
No, yeah.
I've been fighting him for 25 years, and apparently it's so
Derry's
obvious.
a weird place,
Yeah.
okay?
There's a huge ship, and like nobody cares.
Yeah, well,
you're right. It's Derry.
yeah.
Yeah, just put everything in Derry. They're oblivious.
I was like,
There really is everything in Derry, by the way.
This is not Alaska. It's not that remote, right? I mean, it's like
Have you been to Maine?
no, but
There you go.
apparently the same bear crosses over.
It's like
Here.
Flintstones.
Yeah.
It's just-
Here, I didn't get to say my cool little connection.
Okay, go.
Okay. We all saw It last week.
That's 3 hits.
We saw it.
Yeah. One of the shirts that Bill is wearing in the movie, it says Tracker Brothers on it. I don't know if you remember that, but that's true. Then in this movie, the building that they go see the picture of the girl, and then it's the interior of the inner sanctum of Jonesy's mind safe thing.
Yes.
The building says Tracker Brothers on the outside.
Whoa.
Oh, damn.
Burr, burr, burr.
Pew, 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 pew.
Almost dropped the mic. Get that Muppet out of here. Get out of here, you Muppet. You hairy red bastard, get out.
So, can you guys explain to me? So, this may be the good segue to bad, actually.
Oh, boy.
Can you explain to me So was there?
Okay,
one-
location was good too. Like the
Location and cinematography.
Okay.
How
Both
the
very
cinematography
good.
was put together, no, but like just there were some
Sure.
good elements. Okay, all right, I had to get it out. We had to give
Yeah.
it a good chance.
The animals running away. That was kind of cool.
That was
I mean,
cool.
it was very fake, but it was kind of cool.
but it was really well done, Faye.
Yeah.
2003.
This movie's 14 years ago, bro.
14 years ago, I was a senior.
We've seen
in
a couple. What
high
was
school.
We've seen a couple movies from the early '90s that were better than this.
Yeah, well,
Oh, clearly,
there
like,
were some effect
episode
shots
one
in, like,
was better
Lord of the
than this.
Rings that were laughable then too.
Yeah.
True, but episode 1 was better than this.
Episode 1 was pretty good in terms of effects.
And I remember the main.
But so the alien spaceship, were they all? Were there good aliens, or were they all bad trying to infect the planet?
I think those were all bad.
because there were some hints, and maybe they were just like mentally manipulating them about like don't kill us, don't kill us. We're not here to infect you. We're just, or
that
whatever.
was those things.
So that was just them trying to trick him.
yeah.
I mean, that's the way it comes off. And then you got Duds over there. That's an example of one of the ones.
He looks different. He looks totally different.
So what you're saying is, so all the aliens other than Duddits are bad.
It's what it seems like.
Morgan Freeman was 100% right in everything he was doing and saying then, even though he was conveyed as like the James Cameron evil military guy.
Well,
he
we're
was,
not-
but he was like what's his name? Samuel Jackson in Kong. Remember? It's like he's not a bad guy, but it's like you can reason with him. Now it was also very similar elements to the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
that
that's
leader.
where I
There's
was.
a lot of
gonna go.
elements,
yeah,
too.
There's a lot. So, but like he wanted to kill all the people who were infected.
Yes, and he felt that was the only way.
Sometimes
to
that's
get
the
rid of the
greater good,
infection.
right?
And here it was.
You know,
left
I hate to say it, like sorry.
It was left open to interpretation as to whether the other guy was right about people getting better. There was no proof.
It's like
Yeah.
Ebola, man. I'm sorry, like
We're gonna have to torch you.
I was like, I'm sorry.
I have to torch you.
Yeah, this sucks.
All right, enough. Unless you
It's
guys
like
have
grayscale.
more, I'm out.
Let me check my notes. Let me check my
I'm out
notes.
of good.
My favorite parts of the movie were actually Jonesy talking to himself on the snowmobile.
It should have been.
Okay.
I just hated it. The Gollum talk.
Yeah.
The what?
The Gollum.
Like
the angles were good.
Spiegel
The
and
angles,
Gollum talking to each other.
They
Like,
changed and the angles, changing the angles so abruptly was a good idea because it really got
between his like normal British
I
voice.
did like the design.
The British
and-
voice thing was one of the best parts about it.
But why would he have a British voice?
because the actor's really British.
No,
That's fine, but why would the alien do that?
That's
Why would he
not
change the voice at all?
These
Because we're all
aliens
audience
love
when
to
he's-
peer. No, there's two reasons. Ben was about to say the one. Go ahead.
An audience, we need to be spoon
It's a
fed
cue.
sometimes.
It's a cue.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's clearly the alien.
The second part of it is that these aliens love to get into our mind and learn stuff about us, obviously, from all the telekinesis or the psycho stuff they
Yeah,
did where they were talking into our heads and appearing as what they thought we would think they would look like. This goes perfectly into it. He just picked out an accent that Jonesy would have known.
Jonesy.
Jonesy. So I did like
It shows that the aliens are playful.
I did like the design of the mind filing cabinet. I thought that was a cool,
Yeah, it was a neat
cool
concept.
idea.
Okay.
It was a cool idea.
I'm
Looking out the
spoiled
window
by
was a
it,
cool
yeah.
idea. Now, did they execute it right? Probably not. But I think that the idea of
Yeah,
your
that's
mind
true.
being a file, like this, to symbolize what's going on to the audience, his mind, and what he's fighting, is a kind of a cool idea.
Yeah.
It's very Charles Xavier,
Yeah.
you know, in the astral plane kind of feel.
What information did he get though? In his, I know he's trapped there.
It's not
He
that
wasn't
was
trapped.
It
He
was that
could've left
Mr.
any-
Gray had infected his head, so we were led to believe that he wasn't in control.
Yes. So, but okay.
Oh, he was. trapped.
I don't know if you
It
want to
was
go
very
bad
much a
because
symbolic scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like his like little face of when we first see him like turning with his.
You mean this?
Yes, I love that scene.
It's like this. All right.
No,
yes,
he-
it is.
it's
It's in
more
the
like-
trailer. It'll play
it's like-
again.
It was more teethy than that.
Yeah, it was very teethy.
Yeah, you're right.
It was over the top and deservedly so.
You know, for a British guy, he had really good teeth. Teeth.
You have very nice teeth, Jonesy.
Thank you, Ben.
You're welcome. Floss.
So speaking of the mind
Mind
palace,
melding.
whatever, I'm gonna just call it the Sherlock thing.
Yeah, sure.
What is SSDD and why did it?
You didn't catch that?
No, I didn't
No,
follow
I
that
didn't
at all.
Same shit, different day.
What? Okay. So why would that? It
And I
seemed to be
remember-
like the preventative thing. The
I
thing that
remember-
prevented him from getting in. Oh, SSDD.
No, I don't think that's what it was.
Okay.
And then in the very opening scene with Tom Jane, where he was writing the description of the guy he was analyzing, and he used that there too.
Yeah.
I can't remember what he said with it though. It might have just been like one of like
He was talking about the Carl's Jr. hamburger guy.
the fat guy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
There's the animals.
It seems like the SSDD thing it's like a Kingian device where all these characters will have like a saying, and,
Okay.
it means something to them, and it gives them power.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, and that was the room he went into, and yeah, okay, that's fine. I was just confused. I didn't follow that.
Oh,
at
don't
all.
worry. I'll have a follow up on this because there's some not good stuff about that.
Okay,
Let's go to the bad. Let's just go to the bad.
get out of here. I'm
We're,
done.
we're pulling some teeth here.
Do you guys want me to fire off some lines?
Yes,
All right.
please.
A $6 a $6 burger for $3.95. Best deal.
Yep.
What? Like, is it just like an on sale hamburger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was.
What's the
stupid.
problem?
No, okay.
No,
Jeez, Mr. Kubrick.
Did you say bingo? Like the game in church basements? I actually say bingo all the time, so I took offense to them making fun of people saying the word bingo.
It's not that he's no. You didn't.
Fuck a
even,
row.
No, you. Dude, it was
fuck
because
does that
he's.
mean?
It was not that he said the word bingo. It was that he said he went to a bingo hall to pick up chicks.
Yeah, he said that. Did you miss that?
Somebody was taking notes.
You were so
instead
angry
of paying
about
attention.
it that you wanted it to be bad.
Let's see
how-
This is an
Oh,
Academy
damn.
Award winner. Do you know one best screenplay? Do you know one best cinematography and acting?
Morgan Freeman won for this.
He did.
His eyebrows.
This is a mutiny now.
Yeah. Well, let's see how many more I get wrong.
Purely inspiring.
Did you go to? Okay, so bitchin' a buzzsaw. That was
That's
one.
bad.
That was
That's
bad.
bad.
Yeah.
What Damian Lewis's character, who plays like a guidance counselor or teacher or something in
It
a
was
high
very
school?
open to interpretation.
Yeah, he works in a
He was
school.
history teacher, I think.
Somebody goes, "Did you go to medical school?" Like kind of like a they were talking about like
Exposition?
it was almost sarcastic. Like
Yeah.
this is a situation where the hiker guy I think had come back and was
Oh,
like
yeah.
shitting his brains out, and he's like, "Did you go to medical school?" And he just goes, "I thought about it." It's
Yeah.
like, why have that?
Why-
What is that?
exactly.
Like, what is?
Yeah.
Why
I
is
thought
that line
about
in
it.
there?
You want some mac and cheese?
Could have skipped that.
Yeah.
Ben's line, Scooby Dooby Doo, we got some work to do, while the alien, the worm alien is like killing people. Just come out and they're like trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
Scooby Dooby Doo, we got some work to
And
do.
you took me out of it. You just took me
And
out of
I'm
it.
done.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Uh-oh.
say some things.
Here we go. We have the Dreamcatcher apologist over here.
Well, I'm not gonna apologize. I'm just gonna explain things.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see. The Scooby Dooby I'm tongue tied. The Scooby Dooby Doo stuff
Zoinks!
is all duddits
Yeah.
like Scooby Doo.
We knew that.
What do they do in Scooby Doo?
They team up
They solve mysteries.
Team up, solve mysteries, unmask the bad guy.
and run through different doors.
I didn't catch it till this time I watched it, but it felt like the Scooby Doo stuff was thrown in there just as a small nod to them unmasking Mr. Gray and all that crap. I felt like, oh, they tried to do something there.
And they failed.
That was kind of neat. I don't know, maybe I'm way off my rocker on this one.
I believe you.
I didn't follow it.
But my Tommy gun don't. That's why I'm going to give you the count of 10
And,
to get to lion.
And ooh. I was gonna relate this further. You know, that Superman opening I did.
Yeah.
That wasn't for no reason, by the way.
Why was it?
Explain.
It was for Duddits. He came to Earth as one of those aliens to save the world.
You're right. Like Moses.
Or Superman.
Yes, Moses
but-
the alien.
Moses.
The classic
Yeah.
alien tale. of
Yeah.
which leads into my bad.
floating on the
You know,
basket.
based
All
on
right, go ahead.
Moses.
They didn't explain anything about Duddits very well, and I guess that was on
No.
purpose.
At all.
No.
Like there
They
was a
made
lot
some
left
exposition
way
about it.
open. Like it was obvious that Mr. Gray was infecting people. Was that other thing infecting Duddits and just using his body,
Yeah.
or was he actually him? Or
And was
Yeah.
was his mission to give people powers and then when wait till they're adults to stop the
his
alien?
mission was simply to stop Mr. Gray. That's all we know.
Yeah. And so was he just hanging out in was he just hanging out in that
Well, it's-
mentally handicapped kid's body for 25 years?
Yeah, it seems like that.
Not doing anything after
It's kind of bullshit, isn't it?
Like, what was the? And who was that lady?
That was
mom.
that was the other thing I didn't like, is they hint that she knows all about it.
Yeah. Save the world, honey. That's what she said.
And it might just
She was
be
acting this like as hard as she could. She's like, I got
Oscar
2
clip.
minutes. I'm gonna go all in.
Get me a job.
I'm acting the shit out of this, mama.
Do your best. Really, I do.
Mama.
Mammy.
She like subtly like shows like her
Her like strap.
shots and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I'm willing to do nude.
I'm ready with my close-up.
Yeah, I think we should explain too, because I don't know how many people actually have seen the movie, but like they just encounter two people separately. They're in pairs. The group of four is in pairs. They kind of split up after they get to the cabin, and two of them encounter a man who's farting and looks sick and just farting his brains out. Yeah. And then the other ones swerve out of the way because there's a woman in the middle of a snowy road during a blizzard. They swerve out of the way and then like flip 25 times and like, my leg's
10.
broken. Oh, we're okay.
My Cheerios spilled everywhere. Oh no! There goes my Lucky Charms. Who's gonna pick this up?
That got me.
But they just keep farting and
You're gonna attract that bear. That same bear that
They can smell the farts.
He can. It reminded me of the fat guy. Reminded me of the scene in The Dark Knight where that fat guy has like the explosion.
Yeah.
Like, my inside hurts. You know.
yeah, it was a lot like it.
Oh,
That was one of my least favorite scenes in that entire movie.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So, jeez, this movie sucked. So he like not only is just the guy in itself like he's burping and farting and stuff over and over, and he thinks like
and fart.
like his rationale at the start was like maybe it was I ate those wild forest berries at night. It's like, dude, what? Why even like venture? Why even give that if you're writing this?
Yeah.
Why even give that as like a thing? Like, I guess it's sort of to throw you off the scent, but then he's just like very clearly ill. We all know something's up.
We've seen the previews.
For whatever reason, there's supernatural stuff happening that, like, I guess
There's that face.
I don't really know why they didn't start with the. I get like maybe it's like a Stephen King thing to do non-linear storytelling, but like
A little bit.
maybe
Ever
start.
since you watched Godfather Part 2, Stephen King. Come on.
Thanks, Scorsese.
And now you got
Not Scorsese.
Christopher
Coppola.
Nolan doing it now.
It's like they keep talking about Duddits, and then they like
I think it's a stupid name.
Damian Lewis walks out into traffic because he sees Kid Duddits,
Yeah.
who I guess who had for most of the movie I thought was dead, and then all of a sudden he's let's go see Duddits.
Yeah,
It's
you
like,
know what?
wait, what?
You know, I didn't think about
What
that
the
until
fuck?
now. That's
Like,
a good point.
What are you talking
Man,
about?
it's like, I thought he was dead too. It's like, I saw Duddits. But he's
They
alive.
never said he was
and
dead.
he was a kid, but he was a kid
No,
version.
it was a kid. It was Kid Duddits, you know?
Yeah, and his mind was reaching out to his. You didn't catch that?
No, I caught it eventually, but it was like you're just misleading. But then
I didn't catch
all of a sudden, Duddits is alive and fine, and like if you think something's weird happened and you saw Duddits
Call
and you
Duddits.
were in an accident for 6 months,
They did
like
kind of
when you
just
wake
let-
up, maybe just go see Duddits first.
They really
Like,
did let that sleeping dog lie, didn't they?
Yeah, I just and it would have been more impactful for like, oh, there's this kid Duddits. Like maybe immediate cut from there to the backstory. Instead, they like still wait, wait,
felt
then
almost-
do the backstory.
It felt like almost like there was like some editing going on here, and they just didn't know what to do because they had a scene to cut out or something.
Yeah,
Because it
when
just
you-
does an abrupt jump.
Yeah,
And don't you think they should have introduced Duddits earlier?
Maybe.
that's what
You
I'm
know,
saying.
like you said.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't listen.
No, I'm agreeing with. I didn't really explicitly say that, but
Okay.
yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
No, I think it's like, oh, that's Duddits. He's a Red Sox fan.
That's Duddits. You know, Duddits, the kid that gave us superpowers. Those. Why all four of us can. I have a superpower. I'm Timothy Oliphant. I can find your keys for you, baby. You want to go on a date?
Crabs on the East
This
Coast.
ain't weird, yeah?
Yeah.
You usually want to do my.
I hated.
See how
Timothy
good my
Oliphant.
finger is? See?
I hated his
He
character.
probably was the worst part of this movie.
Oh
He
my
was,
god!
but I
Just
like
shut
him.
up, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's like whenever he was on screen, he just kept talking.
Go be in a cowboy TV show, you prick.
Man,
You know, he was a good
it's almost
villain.
like his.
He was a good villain in Live Free or Die Hard. I thought he was good in that.
It just didn't feel like his motivations were justified.
I don't think any of their motivations were justified, except for what's his name, Jonesy's.
Jonesies. Well, I mean, we start the movie with a therapist doing his SSDD. This, hey, fat guy, you gotta stop eating. Like, oh, you're not helping me.
Go easy on
and then
the
he's gonna
Pepsi.
like kill himself, like immediate. Like that's how we start the movie.
Yeah.
What's wrong
But
with
who
that?
owns a gun like this to kill himself?
You-
You know, like that.
But then,
I
like
would do it
his
this way, right?
that never
It
comes
would've
up.
Killed him.
That never comes up
It
again.
would have killed him.
I know, but it'd be easier to
It
kill.
does too come up again. While he's walking through the snow, he's like, yesterday you were all talking about killing yourself. Now you're like, couple more hours, please. He did talk about it.
All right. All right.
I'm not defending it. I'm saying that it does get brought up again.
My
might be
response to that would be, for one, I guess, really the only takeaway from that is that he's bored or hate his life or something.
Yes.
And then it's not brought. It's like it's never addressed until it's like way down the line. 6 months later, I'm now sort of like, you guys got to take advantage or. Like to put it into like just a line of dialogue like that without showing any sort of
Might have been like editing decisions. I don't know,
Yeah,
man. This movie was already long.
I don't know. It just felt weird. Felt weird.
Yeah, it
felt
wasn't-
weird to even include something like that because it didn't really play into his character arc throughout the movie.
Not especially well. I think they wanted it to.
Maybe there's, like you said, there's probably something on the cutting room floor that
I
we
mean,
missed.
this movie was 2 hours, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was like you said, editing was the worst part about this movie. I think it's poorly edited, and then the acting's up there too is the worst part too.
I just like it showed. We showed him like to start with. Like, let's give each of our four characters sort of like your introduction. His is like, I'm about to kill myself until I get a phone call, and then the other guy's like, Damian Lewis can read the kid's mind and like forgives this kid and seems to be like a nice guy. Jason Lee, I don't think we got one other than he chews on toothpicks or something.
Yeah, did he read minds, Jason Lee?
I think so.
He-
I think they all can, right?
They kind of
More
like
or less, yeah.
They
And
kind
then
of
they
made his
each have a
powers
power.
not that great.
They each have another power except for like he
Okay.
can cook breakfast or something.
I don't know if this is a bad or
He had the
ugly.
powers to get his ass kicked by a
That's-
flying leech.
Or he's like addicted to
Okay,
toothpicks.
is this an ugly for you or a bad? And we can
What?
kind of interchange it.
We can pretty much move to ugly.
Let's just do
anytime.
it.
Yeah, this is yeah.
I've got look. Hold on. Go to me. So I color code my notes. Orange is bad. This I have 2 full pages for the end of the movie. That's all orange.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is ugly to me. I don't care how obsessive compulsive you are. Yes. I don't care because I'm that way a little to a degree. I don't care how fucking obsessive compulsive you are. You would not move from that fucking toilet.
No. Nope.
And
Nope.
and
It was on the ground.
In a bathroom.
Yeah.
Surrounded by blood.
it's like
a
I'm
dead
not
man whose ass exploded with a monster.
And that monster's teeth is supposed to eat anything. It could go through porcelain like butter, right?
If he was getting through that door, he would have got through the porcelain too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even so.
That would have been better. That would have been better storytelling. If you wanted him to get it, he goes through the porcelain.
he goes through the
He goes through the side of the porcelain and comes out of the side.
It just goes to show, like, and this is another thing, like, we didn't get a Jason Lee intro, really.
No.
Other than that
Got
he's
blown last
the
night.
wise, like, bingo fuckaroo guy who's like he's the other glasses kid from It, basically,
Yeah.
cracking jokes and
Yeah.
stuff. But he's got a toothpick in his mouth the whole time, and like obviously that's his like neurotic thing that
his
maybe he's
tick.
like dealing with alcoholism.
Yeah,
or
but I don't
something.
care.
But,
Like you said, neurotic. You're not
like-
moving that toilet.
like there's no like make it a cigarette then.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he's so addicted that he's got to get it. Like a toothpick makes no sense. Like
Yeah.
that makes it's like just leave it.
No, but
Just leave it.
No, a cigarette would make sense.
Yeah, or
you wouldn't move.
yeah,
you wouldn't logically
Either way,
move.
makes no sense.
You know, I actually like this movie a lot more than you guys do. I at best enjoy it.
I didn't say I
That
didn't enjoy
was
it.
an ugly.
Yeah.
The toothpick grabbing scene. Like,
Yeah.
so
Like, there are scenes.
It's stupid.
The bathroom scene, the fire scene, the creepy faces, the talking to yourself. There's a lot in here that could make it one of those. This is so bad, it's awesome. Like, I'm loving it. But like,
I'm close to there.
It took itself. I don't know. Like, on the whole, it took itself.
It played it
so
straight.
seriously and so kind of
like
just throwing details out that were like, are you keeping up? Are you keeping up? Like they even had to have a whole scene where Duddits basically explains what's happening. Like,
too much exposition.
Oh, Duddits, you knew the whole time. Let me just. That's right, Duddits. Like, and they're driving in the car, and like he's got to basically tell you what the hell's going on, like because they couldn't show it in any way. They just had to explain it.
I guess I watched a little bit of the making of it today. Most of that leech thing was a practical.
That's
puppet.
awesome.
When it was in the toilet and stuff, they had it on like a puppet. It was like, damn. Yeah. Still looks fake. It was a Muppet, actually.
What did you think of it, the toilet scene where they just see this guy? A monster comes out of this guy's ass and is in the toilet, and they've trapped it. And they have an argument about who needs to go get the tape to tape down the toilet. And their rationale is, you're faster than me, so you go get the tape. And then Jason Lee goes, no, you have to do it. If it gets out, you can fight it because I can't. I have a bad hip.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys are like in your 40s. Like, is this really?
Yeah.
What you're?
Yeah. Go get the tape, damn it.
Just go get it. Just go. You're wasting time.
And the best, after they waste time, he comes back and goes for a jump scare. Oh, just don't go anywhere. You know, remember he comes back. It's like,
God.
Oh my God, Stephen King.
Like, if it's gonna be funny, play the whole movie funny. Like, if it's gonna be goofy and just make the whole movie that way. But it wasn't.
Yeah.
Go, you guys.
Do you feel better now?
I've got more.
Okay.
I got more.
Keep going.
This is therapy. Let's see.
I will. Let's. The British accent. I can't get over.
Okay,
that.
another ugly. Here's another ugly I had. Yeah. What are your? What's
your ugly, Aaron?
Yeah. She Moxie. She.
I don't have. Oh, here. My very first note is in stars hokey, and then my very next note is really hokey. Yeah.
I don't remember.
That sounds
hokey
about right.
Yeah. Some of it's delivered in
I thought it was
overly...
a little bit more pokey, but
hey, you leave pokey out of this.
Well done. It was very cheesy in parts, and I did not.
Yeah,
enjoy
it was.
Like it was,
but not the campy cheesy.
It was the kind of cheesy where it did not feel like it fit in the universe or it was set up well.
No, there was one thing that I liked. The one cheesy that I actually kind of liked. When he was peeing in the thing, I'll never drink again. You know, when
that was good.
Like he does it so nonchalantly. I'll never drink again.
I liked the snow kind of moving too.
Yeah,
that was good. Up until that. But.
And he wrote Duddits in the snow with his piss.
He did it really fast.
I write your guys' name in snow when I.
You do?
That's right.
Do you do it so clean like that? There's no little sprays.
Touching.
In perfect cursive.
What's that from?
It's Billy Madison.
That's right. Perfect
Bunt. B-U-N-T.
Perfect cursive.
Right after that, he when the alien grabs onto his dick, he kamikazes into the fire to burn it off.
Good move.
I've never seen that in a movie.
Stupid but smart.
Stupid but smart. Okay, so there's two things. The reactions of the actors in certain points just didn't match up. Okay, the first time we saw it was when you see all these animals running. Oh man, what they're doing?
That's weird. Whoa.
Wow, this is interesting.
What the? That'd be
and then they also should have been ticked off
they should be
when the helicopter comes. You're in quarantine for the next 24 to 36. What the fuck?
Well, what are you supposed to do
freak
after
out.
that? Well, they obviously weren't happy about it.
No.
What are you gonna do though?
No, but you'd be more frightened of all the animals running past you. Like, God, you wouldn't come outside. You look at the window. Like that's freaking weird.
There's a bear.
There's There's three bears. No, that's the same bear. But so the reaction to that when his hand got bitten off, like half his fingers got bitten off.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Oh no. Nah.
Well, yeah, you don't realize the nature of pain in high stress situations, do you?
I wish
a lot of the time you won't feel that shit until later.
That was Jason Lee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish he would have taken 5 toothpicks and put them in his fingers and just started stabbing the monster.
Bitch,
Movie saved.
you guys.
If he'd have done that, would you like this movie?
Yeah,
Okay,
bitch.
cool.
Hope you get that.
See, that's where I wanted it to go. It's crazy.
Yeah, go.
But instead, it's like,
Go
by
Evil
the
Dead. Go Evil Dead on us.
a movie
please.
where really I think it just all started with, hey, we all have superpowers and we'll explain it later.
Yeah.
And then everything was that. Oh, we'll get to that later. And then they'd got like a wrap up scene and then a monster scene.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think of Morgan Freeman? Because I made him the ugly for the lower third.
I wanted to like him, but he needed more exploration to be a truly sympathetic villain.
There is one-dimensional. He was.
There was an attempt to make him not one-dimensional, but it didn't quite pan out.
I think he was chewing the scenery. I think the only reason he did it was because Kasten was a director. From what I understand.
Probably. That makes more sense. Yeah,
But
that
Kasten didn't
makes-
really direct really good movies. He's a better writer than director, right?
Yeah.
You know, he wrote Empire. He wrote the new Star Wars movies. So, yeah, I think a lot of these actors wanted to do it for two reasons: Stephen King and Kasten, and it was just a recipe for like. Ugh.
It should have been gold.
Yeah, but I actually think that story. I think it's the story. I think it's the story itself. I think it's the.
I think the source material was bad.
Yeah.
In my
that was
opinion.
after Stephen King quit doing coke.
Yeah, and
Coke King is best king.
I got hit by a car. Oh, how could I? Oh, there's going to be a scene where somebody swerves and doesn't hit somebody, but that person's infected by an alien.
Wait a
and
minute.
I'm gonna call this.
Oh, Morgan Freeman's there. Halfway through the movie, we haven't introduced him yet, but there he is.
Demon
And he-
Lamp.
He's been fighting it for 29.
You know what we should call this book? We should call it "There's a sucker born every minute."
I got a better idea. No.
This book's called A Bridge in Chicago.
We're actually going to call it Dreamcatcher, and we're going to make one random reference to
a
it.
dream
That it
catcher.
has nothing to do with an actual Dreamcatcher. It's just they made one when they're kids, and then it'll just be like all my other movies where there's kids in it.
I've got a detail for you.
Exactly. And kids and adults don't understand them.
And one of them has glasses. Oh, there's bullies, too.
Yeah.
And that's how they get their powers.
Matt,
We'll
I
get a
have-
fat kid. No, we can't have a fat kid.
I
this
noticed
one.
something.
We're too similar.
You brought up the Dreamcatcher.
Is it in the book? Okay.
No.
It's not on your camera if you were
I
trying to
noticed
show
this
something.
like this only time I've seen this movie. I've seen it other times, but this time I noticed.
Oh, okay.
That little exploding net that Duddits put around Mr. Gray at the end to blow him up. The pattern on that thing reminded me of a Dreamcatcher. Wasn't that cool?
Interesting.
That's great. But why did he blow himself up?
Because he wanted to kill Mr. Gray.
But
Why didn't he do that before?
I don't know. I'm not
You had
Duddits.
you had every opportunity. What did you even need the rest of them
And
for?
what kind of alien was he? Why was he fighting other? Who was he? Was he a different race that had to fight these little leeches? I mean,
That's what I'm least concerned about. That's just a mysterious backstory.
I know, but they could have give us more information to make it even more mysterious. If that makes sense to you.
No, I've watched Lost.
Yeah, I hated it. I hated Lost.
Yeah,
what's
it was
the point?
awful.
Was it about? God damn. Was it about them like getting
Watch
to
your mouth.
understand a marginalized person in society, like this mentally handicapped kid? They come to his defense, and it's all about them helping him, and then him returning the favor, and it's like you did something great, and so now you have like these superpowers, these powers that in no way really help them, right?
No.
It didn't. I guess like at one point he used his tracker to track something, but
Yeah,
then he
and
died almost immediately.
And he jumped away from he knew it was Mr. Gray instead of.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
the one time, but but they didn't use it against the aliens.
Yeah.
They didn't use it against their. No.
And so like their ability and from helping this kid, and then the kid just did it on his own at the end.
Yeah.
Really without their help,
There's
and
no
he didn't
point
really
in-
need them.
He needed them to drive him there.
He needed to die or something for them to then complete his or I don't know. Like
just
it just
kinda
didn't
used
make
them
any
and
sense.
killed two of 'em.
Like they just kind of went, "Oh, we better go get Duddits," because remember Duddits? He kind of gave us these powers, and then
I
he's like,
haven't read the book, but this strikes me as another situation where it's like where it's mainly about self-discovery, and this other story was used as a backdrop. I don't know.
guess.
It seems like another growing up story.
The movie though didn't
It
give
didn't
the
very
four guys any growing up or
It didn't
character
communicate
development.
it very well.
No, there was no arc for them.
No.
Like Tom Jane goes to the military base and just basically shows off his power and convinces them.
There were a lot of
To help
like
him.
loose threads left.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. And then, like, so that didn't make sense too. This is another ugly of so the military, two military guys, like the revenge, like he comes in with a helicopter and starts shooting him.
Yeah.
That made
With
zero
a pistol and it shoots it down.
But even if he's coming after him, it's like, dude, what are you doing, dude? Like, it didn't make sense. It's like,
The only reason he knew where they were
because
was
he had a tracker in the
put a tracker
in the John Wayne
in
pistol.
John Wayne gun. This is ridiculous.
Next thing you're going to tell me that gun's not even really owned by John Wayne.
It's just such
It was owned by a
ridiculous
John Wayne.
detail.
Not the John Wayne.
It was Johnny Wayne.
It's my friend John Wayne.
Robert E. Lee owned it.
In relation to Morgan Freeman, I have one thing I would categorize as ugly in this movie.
His eyebrows.
Well, no, I actually like those a lot.
His Oscar the Grouches.
It's one line out of Morgan Freeman's mouth.
Okay.
True Americans never miss an episode of Friends. That was a face palm right there.
I missed a lot of episodes of Friends. Thank God.
It's an all right show. I don't know what you're talking about.
What do you guys think of all the Star Wars wipes? That was a surprise.
Yeah, I noticed that.
There
I was like, what is
quite
this,
a few
episode
Star
12?
Wars wipes.
Empire Strikes Back, baby.
Yeah.
There's the. Morgan Freeman comes
Well,
in.
this was freshly off of episode 3, wasn't it?
Yeah. Or 2.
2003. I forget. Yeah, it was probably 2.
Let me look.
Can you explain the dog? Really, the dog?
What about it?
So did he? So
did he
in the body of Jonesy, Mr. Gray, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Did he just happen to find a truck, kill the truck driver, and in the back of the truck is a lot of meat that he then infected?
No, that was one of the aliens in the back of that truck. He knew that this truck was the one he wanted. Psychic shit.
There were aliens in the back of that truck?
But they look like grays.
Yeah.
Those look like grays.
Perhaps
How did
the
he know
body
there were
didn't change
aliens in the back of the truck? Why were
psychic.
Why were there aliens in the back of this truck?
This was the Operation Blue stuff. You'd never know what's going on with that.
Okay.
I'm not defending.
And what
I'm
happened
just
to
saying
And then he
that
made the dog eat it? And what was the dog going to do?
He made the dog eat the alien to get infected, and then he was going to take that infected dog to lay the egg in the water.
Or put the leech
thing.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the leech died, but it laid one egg.
Yes.
He was going to put it in the water,
Yeah.
water supply.
So basically, they're just. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
Why
what?
couldn't
Fuck
this
you,
idea
Stephen
have
King.
been done?
It's not
if
a
they've
terrible concept, just a terrible execution.
If they have been
It's a terrible
hunting,
concept too.
if they've been hunting these creatures for 25 years, 25 years, they specifically said that, and there were
Oh, by the way,
at
the
least
big
hundreds
spaceship.
of them on the spaceship. In no,
Why would they?
what at no point in that whole time had only one of them gone to do this idea to put it in the water supply. They're
but
all
you
just
see, Tattoo, this is where you are wrong. Morgan Freeman clearly states that this is one of many incidents with them. They weren't here for 25 years. They've just been showing up for the past 25 years. They've been fighting them several times and winning.
so they've been stopping.
Yes.
They're men in blacking this shit.
Yes, they're men in blacking it.
Interesting.
Where was Tommy Lee Jones when you needed him? God's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a.
Get out of here. I need to go get a glass of water. Sugar.
Oh, you need a glass of water.
Yeah, sugar.
Jonesy, get this boy a glass of
Jonesy.
water.
Some lemon, too.
And any appetizers today, sir?
Cheese. And some marinade.
Is that you ordering at the Buca de Beppo?
Can I get some macaroni?
So
beautiful.
what was the part about? So because Jonesy almost died, or technically did die. He was immune.
That was my
he
other
was immune
real
from
ugly.
what?
That's stupid.
They didn't. They tried to set up this point that, like, oh, because he died, something changed his mind. So
No,
that
I
Mr.
think-
Grey
I-
couldn't infect his.
I think
mind.
it's stupid because in the book, I believe he just has that special gift from death. Any of them who got
That would have been a more elegant way to do this.
because
Like,
they
they
have,
tried to set up some weird. Oh, because he died, he has mental
and
prowess.
when he delivered that,
hardness.
oh god, it's the worst acting bit in the whole
Which part?
show. When what's his name was saying like he must have.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
dude,
Tom Jane.
this is why you're not in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
You know, this is why they didn't.
if you're
tell-
gonna set up
All right,
that,
Pun.
you're like, this
All
is
right,
this
all
is you're like, this is why he didn't say much in Punisher.
Yeah.
hey,
No, he's a bad actor.
Tom
He's like-
Jane?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
he's brilliant.
You're a fool.
He's one of the good parts of this movie.
You're a fool. No.
Have you seen Deep Blue Sea?
Yes, I've seen it. I've seen it.
No, but what I was gonna say is the mind thing. If you're gonna make up a weird plot point like that, explore it a little deeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I
get the source material, but I almost wish they would have four of
Deviated?
them meet Duddits as adults. And that's it.
Yeah.
And they get the powers right then, and then they
they should have Kubricked this and just made it a completely different story.
Yes.
yeah
Yes.
pretty much, or not make the movie.
But maybe that's the contract. They weren't allowed to. But just find another something else.
Some things don't work on screen.
No, and some things just don't work. You know, I don't think Dreamcatcher is. There's some interesting ideas, but it's like what's with you and fart? It's basically a fart and belching movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on. What were you
all
gonna
the
say?
farts and that's right. We're kind of glossing over that there was like a 15-minute period
I
where it
can't,
was just
I can't believe we're
constant
talking about
farts and-
50 minutes about this.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just-
Well, if you have
Farts
like a
and burps.
foreign invader in your colon, you're probably gonna have some
You know
weird
what?
disturbances in your guts.
That makes sense. I have a lot of foreign invaders every night. I got to dump the garbage before I go into hyperspace. Standard imperial procedure.
So we didn't talk about the worst scene.
Oh wait, which ones? Oh, thank you.
Are you gonna like quick cut us to credits
Yeah.
after like stomping on a tadpole?
What are the worst scenes?
The worst scene for me that I was like, no, I can't do it anymore. Was when
Talking to the gun.
yeah.
Yes.
Talking to the talking to the gun. talking to the gun.
That is a big example
Hello.
of why execution is everything, because
Oh my
that was
God.
You don't need the fucking gun, dude.
Terrible.
You're like, yeah. What is it? You
that's
know?
the same thing from It, The Power of Belief, but they did it terribly here.
Yeah.
It would have worked in It, but not here.
If I was the driver, it would like.
This is the character. This is Tom
the guy
Jane, the
I've
character
trusted my
who's-
life with.
God. Tom
Yeah.
Jane, the character who like tried to kill himself at the start of
Yeah.
the movie, who's our like serious, like we're starting off serious, okay?
Maybe
and
that's
this
a
is
big
our
setup and payoff.
this is our character who is serious, and like his, I guess his arc is that instead of shooting himself with a gun, he can pretend to make it a phone.
Next
Yeah.
time the gun's to his
Banana
head, he
phone.
saves the world.
Yeah.
John Wayne. Yeah, that was so dumb.
Bravo,
No.
Dreamcatcher.
Scooby Dooby Doo.
Gray Pilgrim.
Yeah.
We got some work to do now.
What do you? Scooby Dooby Doo. We got some.
Okay.
Scooby Dooby Doo.
Work with me on this one. That's the first. That's the last meeting they had of the script writing, where they all sat down like, we got some work to do now. Okay.
That's going in. That's going in.
Yeah. Don't you mean extinct?
Hurry, write it down. Write it down.
I think we need a bigger boat.
And by the scriptwriter meeting, it's just Stephen King talking to like
He probably had nothing to
25
do with
versions
this.
of
And
himself.
Caston's like, thank God I had that Empire Strikes money.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for
You
that.
realize that Stephen King rarely has anything to do with the movies, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding.
Too bad.
I didn't watch the credits. I just saw that it was like some techno-y
I turned it off the
thing.
moment the credits
Yeah,
hit,
it was
so.
a really
they
bad
were-
cut. It was like,
And they were like back to like the worst, one of the other worst scenes in the movie with them all talking at the dinner table. It's
So,
like, why am I watching that again?
apparently there is a deleted original ending, which I kind of watched today too. That they go to the grave of Duddits. Forget the other guys, but that died. But Duddits, who's the alien.
He's more important.
You know, like forget the other guys, but they go to the graves and they start singing the song. What's that song?
I didn't pay attention to what
It's
song
what's
it
his name?
was.
That's right, there was a song.
I'm so
Blue Bayou.
tired. Yeah, what's his name?
Forgot about that.
What's the singer's name?
I don't know.
I love that. He's a good voice. Roy Orbison. Roy Orbison.
Cool.
Song.
Great.
Way cool.
Stellar. Was that in the Mind Palace, too?
Yeah.
I
The
think
lyrics
my
to Blue Bayou were in his file cabinet.
Yeah.
And he had to, like... What information... Before we end, what information did he get when he was running away?
all of Duddits.
Yeah, that was all the
information.
Duddit stuff.
But what did he get out of the Duddit stuff?
Everything.
But what did that help? Or
No, he hit
It
it.
was the reason that Mr. Gray had no idea Duddits was involved in any of this.
Yeah, he wanted to hide it from Mr. Gray. He wasn't getting the knowledge for himself.
Mr. Gray was stalking around in his mind palace, and then all of a sudden he realizes,
oh shit, I better get
there's-
this away from him because Duddits is a very important figure.
Better get
'Cause
the
he
How
important
did how
too.
did they know that Duddits was important? Just because of his memory, or like what? Why would he be like, I gotta help? I gotta get the Duddit stuff out of
Because I
here.
think they made that connection with each other telepathically.
Okay.
Yeah.
That part doesn't bother me.
Well,
No,
Other
just
things
the
do,
banana
but-
phone bothered me.
that was
Banana
so
phone.
bad. All right. I will not recommend this movie for anyone. You guys go.
If you're doing,
I wouldn't go see
if
it.
you're doing drugs, this doesn't really matter which. If you guys like Godzilla movies, you know, for the reason why I like Godzilla movies, yeah, I could watch this just because it's a Godzilla movie. It's like this is so bad, it's almost good. It's not so bad. It's good. It's like if you want to watch, if you want entertainment of watching, this is so dumb. You know, I think you can. It's not quite Sharknado, but it's up there.
It's way above Sharknado.
Well, it's like the.
I would prefer to watch Sharknado to
No, I
this because
wouldn't.
it
I
was
wouldn't.
so intentionally bad.
You know, Sharknado.
Like they were in on the joke. This was like
Yeah.
Well, unlike my
fuck-a-row.
art house brothers, I recommend this movie because it's just fun. I don't think it's a great movie, but I think it's worth watching once.
And I've watched it twice in my life. Thanks to you guys.
I've seen it 3 times.
Well, I've seen bits and pieces on cable, and those bits and the gaps I filled with my mind. It was a better movie. It really was.
better. Yeah, I'm
So
sure.
would you say now
Yeah.
is the time to take our files of this movie from the mind cabinet and burn them?
What a
Mine.
waste! What a waste of little space already I have up
Let's
there.
go burn it. Let's go do a little montage, walking through our big cluttered library.
Mine is
With
more,
some
mi-
60s music.
Mine looks like the bridge of the Enterprise. Next generation. Enterprise
Captain,
T.
we're going to dump. Make
Yeah.
it so.
Get that foreign invader out.
It's like Inside Out. You go and dump all the old memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
What's up with Game Sharks?
We're going back to Mario 3 Mix.
Mario 3 Mix.
Yeah, it's a good time. We want to play that. Like, when it comes to games, usually it's like, oh, this feels like work. Do we really want to continue playing this game? In this case, it's like, yes. Yes, please.
As opposed to
Yes.
Kid Dracula?
That was fun until the last part. Yeah, that was fun.
I don't wanna talk
So the
about
people
it.
who watched it out there, all 2 of you, thanks for watching.
One of them's right here.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Dad.
No, seriously.
No,
He's
but seriously,
he's
thank you.
He has like 3 YouTube accounts. So he's like, "You're best. You're
Yeah,
really
it's just me 4 times.
positive."
Hey, you really, people should really go
Compliment
watch it.
sandwich.
It's pretty fun. It's not like watching people, like, because you guys are good at playing the game, but it's also funny and fun to watch, as you could tell from this podcast.
Yeah.
If you like what you see, ladies, come on. No,
We have faces for radio.
yeah, which is why we don't have face cam. Next week, we're doing Mother, right?
Yeah, we got to do Mother now.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited for that because I know nothing, and it has potential to be really good or really bad.
Yeah, and it has like very polarized ratings and,
Interesting.
and opinions on it. So
Man, this is stupid. There's no like giant dinosaurs or
That's kind of a knock for me. I mean, come
yeah,
on.
no, it's what people.
I'm just gonna assume there's Duddits in it.
Controlling
everything. Controlling everything.
All
All right, I think we're done here.
here.